Howdy folks, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering with another tip of the day. We did a job about 2 months ago. We were using this Diasen. Diasen is, it's made in Italy. You see it right here, Diasen. It's made in Italy, and what it has is, here's a couple buckets we mixed. If you look at it, you say, whoa, it's kind of clumpy. What's with that? That's the material. We're going to walk over to the other side now. The reason I'm using Diasen from Italy is, you see this finish here? It was a dash finish, and then they text coated it because I don't know too many people who said, hey, gee whiz, let's put a text coat for looks. It's usually, a text coat lasts about 20 years to waterproof the house. It got no eaves. Eaves should be 2 feet wide, protect the wall. Anyway, we're doing a patch here. So it's the perfect product for this. One of the things, guys, is to learn how to apply plastic. Most people could learn how to apply it in 2-3 years, hands-on, every day. Material knowledge, now that's another topic. That takes a while. Anyhow, what we're going to do here, this past inspection, we had a lath inspection, and we're going to go ahead, when my brother mixes up that Diasen, I wanted some accelerators in it because it's pure lime. Like in Europe, they use a lot of pure lime. It's been used for thousands of years. Here in America, they don't use too many lime or complete lime products. Why? Because it takes about 24 hours to sometimes 3 days for it to dry. And what we got here is we chipped all this stuff out, and because it's the southwest side and because there's no overhangs protecting it, just that little bitty parapet, and that I see it had a text coat too for just in case it leaks. What we did is we caulked the side here. We caulked the sides. As a rule, I don't, because it interferes with the key and the stucco goes in there to prevent a crack. But I thought, I'm not too worried about a crack. I've got Weldcrete. Well, it's just a bonding agent. You guys need a bonding agent. Quickcrete is just as good, sold at Home Depot and Lowe's and all the rest of the hardware stores. So I put a bonding agent in this crack right here, and here. And then we scraped off it. When I was talking to the fellow, he says, man, I wish I would have hired you guys to do this patch. And I was looking at him thinking, you already did hire us to do that patch. So we're going to surprise him and fix that patch. All right, guys, now that Jason got all this heavy mud up here, I'm going to go ahead and apply it. I'm going to come back to the material and its composition, but when you guys plaster, always hit your perimeter first, especially the top, because it's got to set and it's got to defy gravity right here. So hit your top first, guys. Always hit the tops first. It'll save you a lot of hassle with coming back and dealing with dropouts, meaning gravity's pulling on it, so it'll pull it right down. So now you can hit the bottom. I like this material, Diasen, because it's it's green, which means it's good for the environment. It uses a lot of byproducts. It has perlite. Perlite is volcanic glass, just heat it up till it pops like popcorn, and that's instead of sand that's used. It's also got diatomaceous earth, DE. It's also got cork, but the main ingredient is lime. So what I did was I put some accelerator in it. Now, here you guys go. I'll amuse you for a minute to show you what we're working off. I got 3 stands here to get to where I want it. It's kind of rocking. Add a little bit of excitement to my life. Anyway, back to this. Now that you got your perimeter up here done, that's less likely to fall down. because gravity will take it down. So I'm just going to fill this up. And I'm going about an inch and a quarter, inch and a half thick. You say, why it's so thick? Aren't you supposed to go only 7/8? Well, yeah, technically, but it had a few things going on here that made it thicker. How many plasterers out there would rather plaster rather than lath? Us as plastering contractors were called stucco contractor, plastering contractors, and we do the lath too, the paper and wire. I'd rather do this any day than paper and wire. And see, earlier we had a mix, but it was a little too soupy, so we had to put it back in the buckets and add a little bit more sand to stiffen it up a little bit. Maybe we could put more cement in it too, or luminite. When I first got in the trade, luminite was about 10 bucks a bag. Now it's like 70, and all luminite is an accelerator for cements. You could use it in concrete, you could use it in stucco, and it speeds up the drying time. And that's what we want, because we got a lot of windows on this house, first of all. We got a whole lot of windows, and we want to go back and start doing this to each one. So I'm gauging this to set in about 1/2 hour. If it sets a little sooner, a little later, that's okay. We'll improvise. But the reason I added some luminite to set it faster is because I want to float it and match this finish today and not tomorrow. So that's spread. Now a lot of you guys see, I could spread this out like and kind of darby it, or as we say in the trade, rod it to get it true and plumb with this job, because it's 20 inches. I hit here, hit there. But here's something you guys can do. You can take a 2x4 and wet the 2x4 first. Otherwise, this is a very sticky material, by the way. So you wet your 2x4, you wet your darby, and just pull it straight up. Blam. Done until it's ready to finish. And we got a whole lot of things going on here, so when we're finished with more work on the other side, we're going to come back and show you how to finish it. And if anybody's watching, they might say, hey, that matches already. It's close, but not on the money. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and skim this because I want to surprise these guys. When they said, wow, I wish you would have been here to do the first one, I thought, well, we'll just surprise them and do this, so when they see it, they say, oh, you fixed it. Okay, guys, I'll show you how we float this stuff. This stuff is tricky. Being from Europe, this product, there's a lot of people that actually do that in Europe, so I'm sure it's very successful, but I don't like to change in the middle of the road. I've been doing it a particular way for like 40 years. Yeah, this material is kind of like Structuralite for insides. It's hard because it sticks to plywood, and it's designed to stick to plywood. It's also a really sticky material. So any of you plasterers, renderers out in the UK, if you're working with acrylics, it's the same thing, because the sun will hit acrylic, it'll dry, and then you come 10 minutes too long and it'll drag, which means it's a drag to float it. But I'm trying to give you guys an idea, and this particular material isn't sold too many areas here yet. So I would advise, if you guys say, gee, I got a patch, but I don't want to search all over the place, and I sure as heck don't want to Google plastering yards near me to find these materials. I'll go to Home Depot. They got Quickcrete, same day. They have Rapid Set Stucco, same day. They have Sackcrete, Quickcrete. They even have Green Core, which is a fine sand. The stucco from Rapid Set is almost this coarse, but not quite. So Jay had already told me, Dad, you know that the shadow's not going to show. So I'm going to move this ladder and get that last piece. But when if you happen to find this, or this video, say 5 years from now, is still online, and you're wondering, man, how did he apply that? Keep your trowel wet, just like interior if you're using Structolite. Every time you put a trowel full, wet it, and then put it on. Here I have to keep dipping this in the bucket because it clogs the sponge and it drags this particular stucco. It's the nature of it. Anyway, I can go on for another half hour and tell you a lot of history about this stuff, but you guys get the point. I did not want to dash this, meaning just throw it on. Plus, I wanted to explain particular products that are coming. I say in a year or two, this is going to be all over the place because it's green and people want to save the world, including myself. So we're showing it to you now. Okay, guys, Jay decided to show you the finished product of it because the sunlight's on it now and you can actually see what we're doing. Anyway, this product is real popular in the UK. And while we're on the subject of the UK, I'd like to give a shout out to my buddy Stephen Price and his lovely fiancée, Kelsey. They're getting married. Stephen, he's a fellow plasterer, or what they call a fellow spread out in the UK. He always says, Kirk, you know what I tell people about cracking? I say, no, Stephen, what's that? And he says, well, I tell them if you don't want hairline cracks, to leave the stucco in the bags. I like that. I said, man, I like that style. I don't think I'd get away with that. But while we're on hairline cracks, this product, I've used it a number of times now. I've never even noticed a hairline crack in it, even after 2-3 weeks. And this is thick. This is about 1.5 inches. Anyway, my name is Kirk, Jason on the camera. We thank you all for watching. And as usual, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Hi everybody, we reached the end of another video, which means I get to do the fun part. I get to say thank you all for watching. If you like what we do, please like and subscribe so we can keep making content for you. And as always, if you're looking to purchase any of the tools or materials you see us use in these videos, you can usually find those at your local plastering yard. Or, if you'd like to help support us in the process, you can buy them from our website, our Amazon affiliate links, and we'll make a little dough in the process there. More importantly, I get to introduce all you fine folks to the newest member of the Giordano Plastering clan. This is my lovely baby Avery, and of course my beautiful partner Sarah. And as you can see, we've already picked out Avery's first trowel, so when they get a little older, they can come to the job site and learn from their dad, and my dad, the plaster master, just like I got to. As usual, we thank all you folks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.
Bye.